What's up, guys? Welcome back. In today's video we have just a 5 battle set for you guys, but we're gonna focus on the meta today and talk about where it's going, what people are using in the Ultra League, because it just seems like they're everywhere. Like, everyone is all over the place, but I am noticing a lot more fighters, and that's kind of what the focus of today's video is on, and the title, obviously, and thumbnail kind of centered around it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to post on the screen for you my team right underneath me, and then all the teams that I faced in this set. So if you look at these team compositions, if you look at each one individually, you'll notice a trend here. Let's start with the first one. The first one's actually just quite a meta team. It has the Giratina Altered, Registeel, and then Gyarados, which is actually becoming a favorite among some people because it's a lot of general coverage. It has Dragon Breath, which counters the Giratinas. It has Crunch, which counters Giratinas and Cresselia, and then it has Hydro Pump, which just hits hard in general. So, like, even though it's neutral against Registeel, it just hits really, really hard. So, a very powerful move to have. So it's like really, really broad coverage, and it hits Swampert really hard too. Okay, so moving on to number 2. Look at number 2 and 3 though. Number 2, you have 2 pretty good counters for Registeel, and then Registeel itself. So like 2, to me, team number 2 looks like a very anti-Registeel team. You have the Focus Blast from Registeel, obviously, which is super effective. Then you have Swampert, and then, the fighter. Number 3 is pretty much the same as number 2. You have Swampert with the ground moves, just like number 2. You have Escavalier with ground moves and a fighter, very anti-Registeel. You have the Melmetal, which has superpower most likely, which is very, anti-Registeel. So you have 2 and 3 very anti-Registeel teams. And then number 4, you have another fighter. So you have Toxicroak, and then you have Togekiss to counter the Giratinas, and then Giratina, which kind of more of a generalist. It can beat Cresselia in the 2 shield, but not in the 1 shield. Cresselia actually still wins, but just in case you need, you have a little bit of an advantage or an energy advantage, you could probably pull out that win. And then number 5 has another fighter. There's just fighters everywhere. And then I'm not showing any battles after this, but in the next set I faced like an Obstagoon and just more fighters. There were just fighters everywhere. And a Shiftry, just like lots of different Pokemon. So, with the meta being Giratina, Cresselia, Registeel, you look at these teams, really only one of them has 2 of the meta Pokemon on it. Everything else is kind of like anti-meta. So it seems like the anti-meta is becoming the meta. And so to counter these, you're going to have to, think of something that can counter these types of teams. But, I mean, Cresselia and Articuno are still really solid, and Swampert is still really solid. So I do like that team. I did showcase that in the best teams video I did. I'll probably put a card up there so you can watch it if you missed it. But this is ranked the number 1 team as opposed, according to the simulations. So, yeah. So let's just kind of look at that, and then we're just gonna go ahead and start, and then so you can see how we did against these teams. So let's just get started. Alright, so first opponent, Alien War, and so we have the Giratina Lead, and so with this one, I don't want to give up switch advantage right away, so I try to fight it out. I go for the shield bait, and it's very important you charge up Earthquake, otherwise they're going to know it's not Earthquake, but we do get a shield, so perfect. The plan working excellently. I'm going to let the Dragon or Shadow Claw or Dragon Claw go through because it doesn't do a lot of damage, but he double charged. So I'm going for the Earthquake now, and I'm just hoping they don't shield. And they don't shield, so perfect. We do hit that, and so we're doing good. Although it's still really hard to beat this Giratina if I'm not using shields. So because I didn't use any shields, I still lost. But I have Articuno, which can pretty much farm from here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to farm it up, but then they switch. So I'm like, oh crap! And this is where I made my mistake. I switched right into Cresselia right away. What I should have done was I should have fired an Icy Wind off to lower that attack, because it would have taken Registeel an extra Flash Cannon to beat my Cresselia, and I might have been able to pull off a win. And so that was my mistake, and that ended up costing me quite a bit. So you see here, I just get hit with Flash Cannon after Flash Cannon, and none of my Moonblast, I don't think, landed a debuff. So that was another thing that definitely hurt against us. was not getting that debuff. So had we fired off the Icy Wind, you know, and maybe gotten a debuff from the Moonblast, I definitely think we could have pulled this one off. But you can see here my Cresselia is just struggling to do damage to this Registeel. I wish I had a Registeel. I have one for Great League. I don't have one for Ultra League, and I really wish I had one. So anyways, Gyarados comes in. Articuno can handle it pretty well. You can see it does a big chunk, and then it lowers its attack. So Articuno is a pretty decent Pokemon to use against a Gyarados. Might be helpful to have a shield though, which is why I shield this Crunch. And then I just go for Icy Wind. I just go for straight up Icy Wind. I have Ancient Power only because I didn't use my Elite TM on it, and so I'm just basically just keeping it. So yeah, Registeel, we're too low to make any significant impact here. So yeah, I think definitely my mistake was not firing that Icy Wind off. I don't know if I would have still won, but I would have had a way better chance. Way better chance. So we lose so we lose that one. So game 2, we run into the Scrafty lead, and I'm leading with Swampert right now. I was kind of debating on whether I should lead Articuno or Swampert. I kind of was switching back and forth, but then when I saw that I was running into some more Registeels, I just kind of stuck with Swampert. But anyway, Swampert does handle the fighters very well because Escavalier, Scrafty, even Toxicroak and Lucario, they're all neutral to water. And then, you know, Toxicroak is weak to ground, so is Lucario. So, like, Swampert is a really good Pokemon to have to kind of give you that coverage against the fighters. And if you have Registeel, and you can get rid of their fighter with Swampert, then your Registeel can kind of just, like, go to town. And so, yeah, it's kind of good catching them in the lead like that. And so I decided not to shield that one, and I'm able to get off another Hydro Cannon. And so hopefully they don't shield so we can win switch advantage. And they don't shield. Well, they already burned their shield, so they were saving it. So now we're in a really good spot. I can come in here with pretty much any Pokemon I want, but I'm going to go with Cresselia because Hydro Cannon doesn't do as much damage. It does a lot more damage to Articuno, and I wouldn't be able to get to an Icy Wind in time. So I go with Cresselia. I go for the Moonblast. Future Sight probably would do more damage, but I'm hoping to get like a debuff plus a Moonblast charges just a little bit faster, and so I was hoping to get to another one because another one should do the trick. It should knock it out. Now, spoiler alert, I was running into so many Swamperts throughout my sets. In this set we ran into it twice, and actually they quit there, which was really lucky because they did not see my Articuno. If they knew I had an Articuno in the back, they probably wouldn't have quit with that Registeel. We probably would have maybe lost that match. So we got really lucky that they quit that match because, yeah, we definitely did not have a good counter to that. What I was saying before was I ran into so many Swamperts that I ended up using my Elite Charge TM on Grass Knot for my Cresselia. I know maybe not the wisest choice, but man, I've heard a lot of people saying how much success they've been having with it, and just seeing how many Swamperts I run into. I swear I run into 2 or 3 per set. And it's been backfired against me a lot, so I decided I'm going to use it, and it did come in handy quite a bit. I ran into some Swamperts, I landed the Grass Knot, and Grass Knot's also good against Poliwrath, and it charges faster, it's good against Lapras, and so I think I'm on Team Grass Knot. I think I have been converted, so, I mean, Future Sight and Moonblast kind of both cover the fighters the same way, so, like, yeah, I don't know. I think Grass Knot might be better because it just charges faster. You can get that little shield bait opportunity, or just if you're in a dire situation and you need to get a charge move off. I like Grass Knot, so we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but so far I've been using it after this set and I've been liking it. So yeah. Anyways, back to the match. We got Melmetal here. Rock Slide does very little damage. I think I debuffed it first, by the way. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I went on that rant, but. This one we're in good control for this one. So we're going to go Moonblast. And Escavalier, we just have to worry about Mega Horn. But I'm able to get to a Moonblast. I don't know if it was overcharging, but I was able to get to a Moonblast before. And then I switch out because I don't want to get hit with Mega Horn. So then they switch out, but we are way too healthy for the Swampert to be able to do anything. And so we do take the Hydro Cannon. And I go for a little bit of an overcharge that might have been a little too greedy, but we got away with it. So we go for the Icy Wind. I'm hoping to get to one more Icy Wind before, and it works. And so at this point, now that it's yeah, it's going to be GG's from here. They can't really catch up from here. So, drill run, that did absolutely nothing. Okay, so now we're 2-1. Okay, so far, so good. I'm liking this team. The Icy Wind, you have 2 Pokemon that have the chance of lowering defense, and it's just, if you can land both of them, it's just devastating to the team. Okay, so we got Toxicroak. This is a good lead for us because, you know, our ground is super effective. They switch into Giratina, and I go for the bait. Let's see if it works. Nope. So I switch into Articuno because this is definitely a better matchup for me anyways. And they go Dragon Claw, I let it go through. I'm just going to go straight Icy Wind. Ancient Power would be completely stupid to use. I think I've only used it once in this whole time, and I actually did get the double buff, which was lucky, but it's very not a good move to use. So it's just pretty much Icy Wind. Okay, so we're going to let this one go through. Dragon Claw, not a lot of damage. I'm going to farm it up, and then I'm just going to throw an Icy Wind at whatever comes in next. It's Toxicroak. So I'm thinking they might be using this to maybe sacrifice it, but they did shield it, so not 100% sure why. That was kind of like a risky move for them to waste a shield on that. Oh, maybe, because Togekiss was in the back. Duh, I put the freaking team on the screen. But anyways, at the time I didn't know. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, that was interesting. Okay, so Swampert can definitely spam this Togekiss, and it makes it really annoying for the Togekiss. It does huge chunk damage, as you see there. And we get to another one. So this Togekiss is not having a good time. And yeah, we almost knock it out with 2 Hydro Cannons. So, and this is, I shield just because, out of courtesy, but I didn't even need to do that. I could have just farmed it, took the hit, and just landed a Moonblast. So this was, they quit. So now we're 3-1, going for the 4-1. Hopefully we can do it, but I think I already told you how I did. But anyways, let's see if we can analyze our play here. Maybe we made some mistakes. So with Swampert, you can stay in and try to land an Earthquake. That's like your best attempt to win. And I shield, and luckily it was a good shield because they do have Grass Knot. And so, yeah, I got burned with that. In fact, what someone did to me before was they threw Moonblast, and I think I shielded it. And so then the next time I was expecting a Moonblast, so I didn't shield, and they threw a Grass Knot and totally wrecked me. And so from now, I just kind of shield the first one, just because you never know. Like, Grass Knot's becoming, I think, a little bit more popular. I'm seeing it more. So yeah, I'm a little more cautious about that matchup. So then, you know, we switch, they switch. This is going to be a tough matchup for us. The Body Slams don't do a lot, but Lick is super effective, and so it just kind of whittles us down pretty quickly. And then the Body Slam is just like a little bit of extra damage on top. So I'm going for Moonblast. I'm hoping for a debuff. I'm just hoping to get something. But we did not get really lucky with the Moonblast today. There's been matches where I've landed like 2 in a row. Today was not a good day for that. Just not getting really lucky there. Okay, so we got Articuno, and then they have Lucario. So this is another annoying Pokemon because they can bait with Power Up Punch, or they can have an Aura Sphere, you don't know. But they're all running Shadow Ball, I guarantee. That's just it's just too good a move to not use. So then they go Power Up Punch, we save our shield, so that was good. And then here, it's getting kind of dangerous for me to not shield, because I am going to get whittled down pretty quick. So I throw an Icy Wind. I'm kind of canceling out their Power Up Punches with my Icy Winds. And then, yeah, I decide to just let this one go. Because I still have my Cresselia, or my Swampert in the back, and I want to save a shield for that. But they also have a shield, so I shield Grass Knot, and then I realize I'm not gonna be able to win this. They're gonna get to another Grass Knot first. So unfortunately, we run into a Grass Knot Cresselia, and that was our demise in this match. So you see, they're shielding. I should have just quit, but I just stuck it out. And yeah, Grass Knot, boom, knocks us out. So we go 3-2 in that set, and I'm pretty happy with how that set played out. That was like my first set running this team, and I just wanted to point out to you guys all the fighters I ran into. There are a lot of fighters in the meta now, so you can kind of expect to run into, I think Escavalier is the most popular, so kind of plan for that. That's why I see a lot of Charizards too, but man, if you cannot line that Charizard up to the Escavalier, it's kind of, I think, more of a liability. So I'm looking for I don't know, other options to counter the, no pun intended, but to counter Escavalier, so far Swampert is like my best play right now. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas, please leave a comment. Do you have any like secret sauces for like countering that thing? I wouldn't mind knowing. So and also thank you guys again so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, leave a comment, it helps the channel grow. Leave a like, helps the channel grow. And thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.